Good afternoon, everyone. I would like to call the UT Alumni Association annual meeting to order. Thank you, everyone, for attending in person and for those of you joining us online. As I call the meeting to order, my time as the president of the Alumni Association is coming to a close. It has been an honor and a privilege to serve in this role. Having graduated 20 years ago, I never imagined having the opportunity to take part in so many special occasions this year. I had the honor to speak at the homecoming gala, participate in the parade, recognize alumni award winner recipients at midfield during a football game, and address the most recent alumni at the fall and spring commencements. Those are just a handful of events I had the privilege to represent the Alumni Association this year. However, when looking back over the year, though those were certainly special, I am most proud of working with the amazing board and staff. Billy will highlight many of the achievements in his annual review, but I would like to specifically recognize the board. This year, our board members showed true commitment to the association by going above and beyond with their time, treasure, and talent. As we face opportunities and challenges, the board has transitioned into a true working board. This has required their time with additional board meetings, nearly doubling in years past, and everyone contributed on their own time to help move the organization forward. For the treasure portion, all of the board has committed to giving financially to the association they serve. One of our key goals has been funding our recently created engagement fund. This endowment fund was designed to eventually support the association's operating budget. With a $5 million goal, I am proud to say we're almost 25% of the way there. Having the board committed financially and having 100% participation on the day of giving sets the example for the rest of the Rocket Nation. Last, with their talent, they have continued to impress me. This year, we created a new 5-year strategic plan. The plan sets the association up for success and addresses additional support for the University of Toledo and the foundation. With this plan, we have realigned our committees to achieve our goals, and each member has stepped up, ready to take on the challenge, using their unique skills to benefit the organization. As I end, it has been a pleasure to serve with all of you, and I'm excited for the years to come. I'm confident in Andre continuing the momentum, and with the upcoming slate of executive committee and board members, our Alumni Association is in great hands. Before turning the meeting back over to Billy, I would just like to share my gratitude for him and what he brings to this group. You will hear him say it is a team effort, but Billy has poured all he has into this association, and his leadership is unmatched. So thank you, Billy, and from all of us, we truly appreciate you.
Thank you. Let's give it up for Jeff. So, the nice thing that I get to participate in is when our president comes on board. They've been with us for a number of years as a board member, and then we cycle them through the chairs, if you will, through board secretary, second VP, first VP, president, and then past president. And so you really get time to spend with folks and get to know them. And Jeff has been an amazing leader for our board, for our organization. Very tactful, very strategic. A lot of things that he has done to help us become a better board will help position us to be even stronger as we move forward. So Jeff, thank you and your family for the time you've given to us, because much of what we do is not just us individually. There are many people outside of this room that are impacted by the time that we're away and the time that we commit to the work that we do. So thank you, and thank you to all of our board members and volunteers. I get the pleasure of walking through kind of an annual update report of some of the things that we've done that you may or may not be aware of. And as Jeff kind of alluded to, I get to stand here and talk a lot about what we do, but much of what we do gets executed by the people you see on this screen. I have the pleasure of working with an extremely talented, passionate group of people every single day, and I mean that, Monday through Sunday, every single day, that are committed to making this place better for our institution, for you as alumni, for our community, for our supporters. And I can't stand here and do what I do without the support of an amazing team. So a few are here today. Sarah, who keeps me on track, she's probably my third boss. I've got 3. Floyd Akins, our VP of Advancement, Sarah Metzger, and then my wife at home is the third. But she keeps me on track. Jeanette Espinosa's here in the back. All the membership questions, and she works at the College of Law affiliate, and so much that keeps us rolling. She is not officially on the team, but she will always be a part of the team. Shirley Grzecki, who retired last year, is here. So Shirley, you will always be a part of our team. And so again, just grateful that I get to work with this group of people, and there's a few that are online. So very, very blessed to work with this group of people. As I start every meeting that I give a presentation, I think it's important that we level set and always think about why we're here. Every decision we make should be based on what's best for our alumni, what's best for our association, and what's best for our alma mater. We'll talk a little bit later about our strategic plan, but all three of those are woven into our 6 strategic goals that are going to help move us forward over the next 5 years. What are we here to do? Keep all of you informed, and that will continue to be one of the key elements of what we are here to do, is to let you all know what's going on. And we're going to continue doing that, but also going to be in the next couple of years taking a more proactive role. So that's something my boss and I have talked about, of getting more messaging out to our alumni and our community about what's going on at the university. Because as many of you know, because you're engaged, there's a lot of stuff that we do and we do well that gets some attention, but not nearly enough. And so we are going to be leading the charge that increasing the pride in Toledo for the university, engaging our alumni as a resource to the university, and positioning us to be a resource for you, keeping our university informed about our alumni. So whether it's through our e-magazine, our homecoming gala, or throughout the year highlighting some of the amazing things all of you are doing, we position ourselves to be a catalyst for getting that message out. And we want to be positioned to foster active interest, support, and involvement of alumni and our current students who are our future alumni. I fully believe that if we help our students have a great experience while they're here, they become great engaged alumni. And then this is kind of Billy's overlay of what else we should be doing. Being innovative to the best of our ability within the resources we have available, positioning ourselves to be the best alumni association in the land, setting the standard, which from the day I started here, I said I wanted to be the school that other alumni associations benchmark off of, and you've heard me give examples of how that is happening now. Being very strategic, that aligns very well with the next slide. We start talking about our strategic plan goals. Data informed, we can't just act upon our gut feeling. It's got to be a mix of quantitative and qualitative data to help us best understand where we can use our resources to become a stronger organization. And we have to be responsive in every sense of the word to our alumni, to our campus, to our community, to our students. It's just good customer service, and that's something that I'm extremely proud of, that we get more questions, and Shirley can probably tell you, more questions that aren't pertaining to the Alumni Association, because they know if they call here, they're going to get the help they need. And that's how I always want to position ourselves, is to be a resource and to be responsive. So as was mentioned earlier, our board approved November of 23 our strategic plan. What I will tell you is this plan aligns with the University of Toledo Foundation's plan, which aligns with the university's strategic plan. So I've only been here 5 years, so I can't speak to what happened before, but I would tell you this is the first time in my 5 years that we've had all 3 plans aligned with each other. So everything we do as an association is to support our foundation and support our university. And that's how I really believe we will continue to be an important part of our university's community and the foundation, unit within the foundation, because this is what we're all working towards. Each of these 6 goals has a task force aligned with it. Each task force has a member of our board. It is led by one person from our executive committee, and it has at least 1, if not 2, staff liaisons. So all of our committee meetings now, you may remember committees we used to have, we reshuffled a few of those and now align them to be task forces that work on several tactics, which I didn't put here, that are underneath all of these goals. So keeping in mind, we're aligning with the foundation and the university. Goal number 1, and these aren't necessarily in order of importance, so just want to make that note. Increase the philanthropic support for the Alumni Association, but also for the university. Everyone in this room gives, and so I know you understand the importance of that, and you know why you give and what drives you to give. The vast majority of us give to help make our alma mater better, and to also ensure that the students who are coming behind us, our future alumni, have access to all the resources they need to be the best that they can be. Creating engaging opportunities that excite alumni and donors. We need everyone's input on that, but when you get people together and get them excited and think about the university, that creates a whole other level of engagement that doesn't happen if you're not paying attention to that. One of the top priorities of the university, if not the top priority, is growing enrollment at the University of Toledo. And it's been varying sizes depending on when you were here. But I think and fully believe that as alumni, we are the ROI on the investment that our students are about to make in this place. And we are the ambassadors. All of us are successful in our own rights in this room, and many of us can tie that success back to the University of Toledo. And so how can we position ourselves to support students telling that story about why coming to UT is a great decision for students in our community, but also throughout the region and the country. I didn't plan to say this, but because she's in the room, I see her in the back, Dr. Kim. She and I have had several conversations and meetings about how we leverage her network in Columbus, Ohio. So we met years ago in the admissions world, so we kind of wear our admissions hat, but she's not in that world now, but it said, hey, how can I leverage my contact and what I've done throughout the admissions portion of my career to help Toledo recruit students? And in fact, before she leaves, if you see her walking out of here, she'll see her with a tote and a bag. It's admissions materials and stuff from Career Services, because she's going to be representing us at a career expo that Nationwide Hospital is putting on. So talk about the impact of an alum helping us with one of our top priorities. And that's just one of many examples that we have to give. And so I'll call her out specifically because that's top of mind. So I want to make sure she doesn't forget her stuff behind the check-in table. But it's important to what we do here. Leveraging our trustees, donors, and alumni to help create opportunities for our current students, internships, co-ops, job placements. But within that bullet too is how can we position our career services to help our alumni as well. Many folks may not know that even after you graduate, you still have access to career services. Well, if you need help finding a job, resume writing, interviewing skills, our career services area provides that support for alumni after you leave. So if you didn't know that, you know it now. And if you did, please help spread the word to other alumni that office is there to support you for life. Increasing more donors and keeping the ones that we have, that kind of ties in with number one. And we talk about that a lot, but we realize that it takes money to do what we do in terms of scholarships, providing student success services to make sure that our students are coming here, staying here, and graduating. And a lot of that ties into, when you think about building the pipeline, is increasing the philanthropic engagement of current students. And that's just not financial. If you look at some of the points underneath that, it's us having a stronger presence as an alumni association with our students while they're here. So they know who we are, they know what we can do to support them. And so we build that relationship over their time as an undergrad or as a grad. So when they leave, they understand the importance of giving back through time, talent, and treasure. This is a slide I love to show every year just so you get a glimpse. This really hasn't changed much of where our alumni are around the country. I will tell you, I just had a conversation the other day with an alum who graduated a couple years ago, he and his fiance live in Dallas. We do not have a chapter in Dallas, but you see there's a red blob over it, which means there's a critical mass of alumni down there. And so we're going to be meeting in the next, actually he emailed me yesterday, wants to meet after Memorial Day. Let's talk about what we can do to engage our alumni in the Dallas area. And that's really how we get things going, finding passionate alumni in these areas around the country who say, hey, I'm willing to help bring people together. So that's important. And then just to give you an idea of where our formal chapters are, but I will tell you this is not necessarily where our formal engagement is. We spend time in Nashville, again we'll be in Dallas, Houston. We're going to be looking at some other areas. Minneapolis is an area where we've got a decent amount of alumni. So it really becomes much bigger than just our formal chapters. It's really a nationwide and really international engagement if you really think about where our students come from. Just to give you a glimpse on membership, membership fluctuates. I will tell you what looks like kind of an anomaly in 20 and 21 was we gifted 1 year of Alumni Association membership to all of our faculty and staff in hopes that they would renew. And so you can see that didn't necessarily happen. But it was a way for us, particularly during COVID, to thank our faculty and staff who are alumni for what they did. And so that's why you see that big drop off. But for the most part, I mean, it's fluctuated from year to year, holding steady with our lifetime members. Annuals drops a little bit, but that's really the trend across the country with a lot of membership organizations. But when you look at all that together, plus our 17,000 complimentary members, so we still offer a 1 year comp membership to all of our recent graduates to help get them connected. we still have a very strong group of alumni who are committed through membership, and that helps us do what we do. From an event perspective, again, you kind of see prior to COVID, COVID started, midst of COVID, trying to bounce back, overcorrected, and now we're down to about 144. We'll probably finish around the 155, 160 range. That's still a lot in my opinion. We still want to focus on quality versus quantity. But even though you've seen a reduction from last year, and that 187 is at the end of the fiscal year, which is June 30, so we'll catch some of that, we have still connected with over 10,000 guests at our events that we do. So we still see a lot of activity, a lot of engagement. I won't go through all of this, but just gives you an idea, a small glimpse of some of the things that we do, whether it's events in the pavilion, watch parties around the country. A lot of it's, the first half's around sports, homecoming, reunions, golf outings, networking luncheons. You see the 2 networking luncheons in Atlanta. Atlanta used to be one of our most active chapters. Dropped a little bit, and now we're actively engaged, and we've got some folks down in Atlanta area who are helping us rebuild that chapter. We were just down there a couple weeks ago for a Top Golf event, trying to get one of our largest metropolitan areas that alumni live to re-engage, and so far it's off to a great start. So again, this is just a small glimpse of some of the things that we do. Going back to enrollment for a second, thank you to those of you who participated in our annual postcard writing campaign. I almost fell out of my chair when Paul Smith told me that we had 380 alumni around the country who volunteered to each write 10 postcards to prospective students. So if you think about that, that's 3,800 prospective students who received a handwritten postcard from one of you or one of our alumni. Small investment of time that can pay a huge dividend to help our university with one of our top priorities. So I'd love to break that 380 next year. So if you did it, thank you. If you didn't, we need you next year. And then all of you tell your friends that are alums to help us with this, because this has a huge impact. Not because it's a message, but it's handwritten, so it shows you took the time that you care, and you all have a story to tell that will attract people to our alma mater. Fiscally, all about being fiscally responsible. I always like to show this, another clean audit for fiscal 23, no recommendations, which is exactly where you want to be. So as I'm looking at our new treasurer, Reggie, we've got things all squared away, and looking forward under your leadership the next couple of years to continue that. Our current treasurer had nothing to do with this, Dave Dimitrica. I'm kidding. No, I'm kidding. But no, this is something that is very important, because actually it shows you that the investment you're making in us is being used in a way that should be used. So you always want to make sure you're on the clean side of an audit. From an annual giving standpoint, thank you to all of you that participated in our annual Rocket Forward Day of Giving. This year we raised just over $1.7 million from over 2,400 gifts. So again, thank you. 41,000 of that were linked directly to Alumni Association funds and scholarships. And that's a significant increase over last year. So thank all of you in this room, all of you online for your support. This all goes into, again, help do what we do, but help support our students through scholarship. Here's one you may not necessarily know, but since we started doing Day of Givings in the fall of 17, we have raised close to $9.3 million from just over 19,000 gifts. So it's our largest giving effort in the 36-hour period, and this is the impact that you are having that all comes back to our university to help us be successful and our students. Even more proud to say that once again, 100% participation from our board, 100% participation from our staff here in the building that work on this. And you've heard me say it before, and I'll always say it, I can't ask you to believe and invest in something that I and my staff aren't believing and investing in ourselves. And so to me, I'm super proud of this stat. And we new board members, we got to keep this going. So as Jeff alluded to, we retooled one of the funds that we had last January. It started with about $93,000 in it. By July, we're actually going to move some additional funds in there that we have acquired. So that fund in a year and a half went from $93,000 to just under $1.2 million with our goal of $5 million. And I didn't put it on here that $5 million is before I retire. So if you all can help me get there faster, I can retire sooner. But where does all this go? This doesn't go to salaries, doesn't go to buildings. It all comes back to the interest from that endowed fund to our operating budget that allows us to do events around the country, allows us to subsidize like lunches today, so we only can charge a couple bucks. So we use that money to help fund our strategic plan and what we need to do to accomplish our goals. We run a pretty lean ship, as our treasurer and incoming treasurer have seen. We utilize every dollar, and so every dollar of support we get is helpful to what we do. This is one that I added last night, and I absolutely loved, because anytime you can beat Bowling Green, we do. So first ever giving challenge took place the week leading up to the UT-BG game. And if you're wondering, that lowercase bg is not a typo. If you work with me, that's how I reference it. Even in the letters, if I'm emailing the president, it's lowercase bg. But we raised over $36,000. 189 donors gave for the first time because of that challenge. And this is something we will do year over year. We've already talked with Bowling Green, so we've got it teed up for this year. 123 scholarships and funds were supported. So at the end of the day, yes, we won. We're 1-0, but both schools won by collaborating and connecting with our respective alumni to support our institutions. You hear me talk a lot about scholarships. This year we will award, as of right now, about $80,000. That may go up if you're paying attention to the news. Last year, the Supreme Court ruling on race-based admissions, and that ruling there has moved into some interpretations on scholarship awarding. So a lot of the state institutions, particularly in Ohio, have had to pause those scholarships and rethink how those can be administered. I will tell you that the foundation is taking an active role in working with each group that has a fund agreement to try to amend it to align with the law. What I will tell you publicly, this is not a University of Toledo decision, so please help me spread that word. What I hear in the community is Toledo's not awarding diversity scholarships. Well, it's because we can't. It's not a decision that we made. If you would like to help us take that up to, well, never mind, we're public. But anyway, this is where it's important to vote and make sure that folks who are making these decisions align with your beliefs. But we're doing our best to work through that. There's some adjustments that may be made that will allow us to potentially award some of those scholarships for this academic year. So that $80,000 could go up before the semester starts in August. But the goal remains $100,000. So that concludes my update for now. I'd like to bring up now Matt McClure, who's a member of our executive committee, who is also the chair of our awards committee.
Thank you, Billy. Good afternoon to everyone in the room. Good morning, evening, afternoon to everyone online, depending on where you're at. So for this year, I was the chair of our awards committee, and I'm going to go through some of those awards today, and then the remainder will be awarded at homecoming in the fall. So first up is the affiliate of the year. So for this affiliate, they hosted a wide range of programs between 23-24, golf outing, tour of Pepsi, student and engineering volleyball competition. They also did several fundraisers with the Toledo Mud Hens with the aim of supplementing funding to the student organization within the college, as well as enhancing or growing the balance on their own scholarship fund. So kind of splitting and benefiting two areas there. They also filled out their roster for their affiliate board and added social media to that, and then served as ambassadors or advocates for the Day of Giving by both recording messages as well as offering challenges and matching gifts. So it's my pleasure to announce that the 2024 Affiliate of the Year is the College of Engineering, and Deb Dower, I think, is here to accept that award.
Absolutely.
Congratulations.
That goes with that, and we'll get another picture later, maybe outside.
Okay.
All right.
Good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Everybody who knows me know I had to say a few words. One, we're very honored to accept this, and I see a lot of my board is in the room today, so I'm thrilled, and I'll talk about them in a second. But we worked really hard, not just to win the award, but what does it take to improve and be the best and be the gold standard? Not saying we did it in one swoop, but we're working in that direction. So we have a lot more work to do. But this year we really worked hard to put all those programs in place that you saw, fill the board up, get the right people, and get very active people, and help other affiliates, which is what we want to do moving forward, partner more, learn from them, share with them, and the smaller ones help bring them up. And we pride ourselves on having fun. Now, we are engineers, so we know that fun to us may be different fun to you guys. We have math parties and things like that. No, not really. But we're proud that we did a little bit. We decided to do a little bit more fundraising. So Matt mentioned the Mud Hens, et cetera. And we did some wine tasting events with some silent auctions. And we were able to double the amount of scholarships that we've given in the past. So we're pretty excited about that. But even more important, we are now adding money into the endowment fund so that it's the gift that keeps on giving and we can give more in the future. So I want to thank our staffers from Billy's team. Mackenzie Hoffman she really wanted to win, and she's on maternity leave, so she couldn't be here, but she was our shining star, helping us keep everything on track. Her stunt double, Sam Field, stepped in for her, and he's been doing a great job too until she makes it back. I'd say the best thing about being in this board, in the affiliate, is the board. We have some really awesome people, and might say we cherry picked just a little bit, that we have a past president from the big board. We have 2 former members of the board. We've got 2 active members from the board. We've got past outstanding alumni on the team, past volunteers of the year on our team, and then other board members who are as dedicated as all get out and bring their engineering strength to us. We've tried to work really hard to tie with our foundation person, with the College of Engineering, and our student organization, UTech. And we did our fundraising side by side with them, which was so much fun because they're so full of energy. Like I said earlier, we appreciate the award, but it's just the beginning, and we'll continue to do this kind of work. We really want to work with the other affiliates, engage all of our alumni, grow our membership, and engage our engineering students. So thank you again. We love the recognition and the award.
Thank you. And congratulations again. All right, the next award up for today is the Chapter of the Year. So this chapter had over 100 alumni attendees at their various events during the last year. They hosted a watch party for the UT Bowling Green football game, and as part of the Giving Challenge, they also partnered with the Pharmacy Alumni Affiliate for a continuing education event in conjunction with a minor league baseball game. They added alumni with international student backgrounds to their planning committee with the hopes of growing or building on that for future events and future purposes. And they also have active alumni within their chapter that assist with recruiting alumni to serve as ambassadors for UToledo admission events. So the chapter of the year this year, I believe it was also last year as well, was the Columbus chapter. And we do have a video from Columbus. I believe it's Robert Kramer that is going to accept this.
It is once again an honor to accept the University of Toledo Alumni Association Chapter of the Year Award. Thank you to both the Board of Trustees and Awards Committee for their consideration and eventual selection of the UToledo Alumni Association Columbus Chapter. We greatly appreciate your consideration and are thankful for being awarded the Chapter of the Year Award 2 years in a row. We've had many people help us along the way in achieving this honor, so I would like to thank Steve and Patty Stick-Schulte, Pudel Biebeck, Jasmine Alfred, Candace Ronnie, Brandon Stewart, and Kenesha and Jermaine Archie. And a special thank you to Dr. Kim Campbell for her help with the admissions office and recruitment of admissions volunteers. My name is Robert Kramer, and I'm the president of the UToledo Columbus chapter. I've been an active member in the UT Alumni Association for over a decade, serving formerly as the vice president and now as the president of the chapter for the past 6 years. I graduated from the University of Toledo as part of the class of 2005 with my bachelor's degree in computer science and engineering and a minor in mathematics. I work as a data analyst for Southwestern City School District, where I've now worked for the past 15 years. I also have the opportunity to serve civically as a member of my city council for the city of Obetz, where I am now in the middle of my second term. In 2023, we were able to hold 4 different events, including a tour of Brewdog's North American brewery operation, a Toledo Mud Hens versus Columbus Clippers baseball game, a tour, tasting, and dinner at Middle West Spirits Distillery, and a well-attended watch party for the BG Toledo football game. I would have to say the distillery tour was my personal favorite. It was, of course, a very educational tour with plenty of opportunities to taste, but with an exceptional, intimate dinner afterwards where members could easily sit down, conversate, and get to know each other with a great meal. I would highly recommend both the tour and dinner to any of you on your next trip to Central Ohio. We continue to see more new alumni coming out to events and hope to continue that trend as we transition into our 2024 outings. In fact, we've already had one event this year. In early April, we enjoyed a tour of Seven Sun Brewery, followed up with some wood-fired pizza on a beautiful spring evening. We are also planning several additional events this year, including our annual outing to see the Toledo Mud Hens take on the Columbus Clippers at a game in May, which we already have over 30 people signed up for. In closing, I'd like to once again thank the Alumni Association for all the support that they've given us over the years. This level of engagement and the successes of our chapter would not be possible without you or our wrangler, Paul Smith. He has the thankless job of so much behind the scenes work, and we appreciate him as well. Have a great annual meeting, and go Rockets.
You want to hold the banner up for a picture in Robert's absence?
Shift over a little bit that way. Yeah.
All right, moving on to the next, maybe. Okay, Volunteer of the Year. Volunteer of the Year is, I think, the last award for today that I'm going to announce, and this person has been named the Alumni Association's Volunteer of the Year for her dedicated service, not only as an Alumni Association board member, but also prior services as a member and past president of the Board of Trustees for the College of Medicine and Life Sciences Alumni Affiliate, and as a member of the Dean's Advisory Committee for University College. She volunteers for several association and university initiatives, including Rocket Forward Day of Giving, Homecoming, Art on the Mall, and the Alumni Postcard Recruitment Project. She has 2 scholarship funds at the university, one for students in University College, as well as one for the College of Medicine and Life Sciences. In addition, she has been an avid supporter in many areas across UToledo, including the College of Medicine and Life Sciences scholarship funds, Kester Alumni Pavilion, the Collier Building Fund, various athletic fundraisers, and several health science campus student funds. She's a 1975 graduate with the University of College and earned her PhD in physiology from Medical College of Ohio in 1980. So please join me in congratulating Dr. Pat Medding as the Volunteer of the Year.
Thank you so much.
Too much glare over there.
All right.
Well, thank you so much, Jeff, for that kind introduction. I really am deeply humbled and honored to have been recognized with this accolade. It's actually somewhat doesn't seem quite right to be receiving an award for doing things that I love to do, and for an institution that has had such a major impact on my life. I first became a Rocket 211 years ago when I transferred home to Toledo to complete my undergraduate education. From undergraduate student to graduate student to faculty member and administrator, I spent my entire career here and at the former Medical College of Ohio, which is now the College of Medicine and Life Sciences for the University of Toledo. Now in this retirement season of my life, I have the pleasure and privilege of giving back to this great university by serving as an alumni volunteer and leader. You've all heard the cliche, there's no I in team, but you'll also notice there's no I in the word volunteer. And that's because volunteering is a team sport, and I feel so fortunate to be a member of arguably the best alumni team in the nation. Your University of Toledo Alumni Association Board of Trustees, as well as the boards of each of the college's alumni affiliates, and those of the various chapters across the country and the specialty interest groups, are dedicated, hardworking volunteers, with whom I am so grateful to have been associated and still am. In addition, I know I speak for all of the alumni volunteers in expressing gratitude for the unwavering support of the staff of the Office of Alumni Engagement and Annual Giving, as well as the development team and the other UT Foundation offices. I would like to identify them individually, but that's not possible in my allotted time. So you know who you are, and I thank each and every one of you from the bottom of my heart for your dedication and hard work and for the support you've given throughout the years. Finally, I'd like to thank my husband Mike for his support of my volunteering, as well as our children Megan and Patrick, who throughout their lives have exhibited great patience in waiting for Mom because she has a student to meet, a lecture to give, an experiment to complete, or a meeting to attend. I'm grateful that they too, as adults, are dedicated to service and will pass that legacy on to my dear grandchildren, hopefully. In closing, I want to encourage all alumni to get involved. Your presence here today, whether here in this room or online, demonstrates your passion to UToledo. And passion and loyalty are the major and most valuable characteristics you can bring to any volunteer endeavor. In addition, all you need is a positive attitude and a willingness to pitch in wherever needed. So we would love for you to join us in our mission to connect alumni and support our alma mater. So again, thank you all, and go Rockets.
All right, that concludes the awards portion. I'm going to turn it back over to Billy.
Thank you, Matt. Yes, as Pat mentioned, we always look for volunteers. We are the organization we are because of volunteers, and there's a long list of things that we can have you help us with. So please, if you aren't a volunteer now and would like to support us, please connect with us. What I'd like to do now, actually, before I move forward, there's one note. There's one piece of this program that you may traditionally see that you won't see this year. It's the listing of students who receive scholarships. That's had to be delayed. So again, if you're watching national news, there was a huge delay in the FAFSA process, free application for federal student aid, that impacted every institution around the country. So that has been worked through. However, it's delayed us awarding scholarships. So that amount you saw will still go to students, but we're still working through that process. And once they are awarded, we will ask them to submit a thank you video or thank you message that we will share throughout the year, throughout our events, so that you as our alumni and donors that support those scholarships can hear directly from those students, many of whom are grateful for your support. What I'd like to do now is recognize our outgoing board of trustees. A few are here with us, some are online, and some had conflicts. We are a 29-person board that gets quite a bit done. And when I think about volunteers and the amount of time that folks are committing, I'm extremely grateful to our board for not only serving as board members and bringing their expertise and leadership to those discussions and informing our path forward, but many of them also serve on our task forces, committees, their affiliate boards. And so there's a lot of time that they give outside their board commitment. And so we're extremely grateful for the time that we had them in leadership roles, and hope they all know that though they're not on the board, their input is still very much welcome. So I will call out their names, and for those that are here, we'll have them come forward. I think we have two. The other ones either online or had conflicts, but outgoing board of trustee, Brett Babcock, Dr. Nancy Collins, past president, Pete Davis. This next person is in the room. You have seen his face many times. I think we lost track of how many years he's been affiliated with the board in some fashion. But the reason why we're recognizing him again today is going into last year, we were in need of a treasurer, and without hesitation, he raised his hand and said, I would be willing to serve in that role until you were able to find a person that can commit to a longer term, which we have found. He is a person who I will tell you that anytime I see him, if you need anything, call me. And I think a few times I have, for even things not alumni related, like a sump pump going out in my new house. Dave is 5 minutes away, and he stopped over. But when he means that, when he says it, he means it. And so we'd like to honor our outgoing treasurer, but longtime board member and supporter, Mr. Dave Dimitrica.
You were lying when you said without hesitation. Shh. We're supposed to stand over here.
Yeah. And I believe you might have some. Let's take the picture first. And I believe you have some fans in the audience.
What a handsome group. Thank you.
We'll make sure you get one of those little headshots to take home with you.
Yeah. Thank you all.
Dr. Martino Harmon. Evelyn McKinney. Come on down, Evelyn. I've known Evelyn for a very long time. Very committed to the organization, very committed to the community. Someone I love and respect, and so I appreciate it. When I called her, she said yes before I finished telling her what the commitment was for the board. But Evelyn, I appreciate your passion for helping us and for serving on the board for your term. And again, you're not done either. We'll find ways to get you involved, but thank you for your service.
Well, thank you. That's beautiful.
Too much light in your face. And again, we'll take pictures after. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Matthew Miller, and then Tanner Schultz. As many of you know, we have a seat on our board for a student representative that is generally the vice president or president of student government, because the student voice is extremely important in what we do. So thank you all for your service to our board, and yes, we will be in touch. Also happy to report there are no updates to vote on to the Alumni Association bylaws for the second year in a row. So we get to move the program along further. All right, to talk through and bring up our, lost my word for a second. So the next part of our program, we're actually going to propose our new slate of officers and trustees. And to do that is our past president and now past treasurer, Mr. Dave Dimitrica.
Mr. President, fellow alumni, like I said, a handsome group. It's with honor that I present to you the proposed slate of officers and trustees for the next fiscal year Alumni Association. As I call your name, if you're here, stand up so everybody can see who you are. If you're here. If you're online, wave. We can see you. Trust me. Proposed slate of officers for the 2025 fiscal year. For President, Andre Swearengton. First Vice President, Matt McClure. Second Vice President, Janet Gessner. Treasurer, Reggie Bradley. Secretary, Dr. Mohammed Musa. And the immediate past president, Jeff Williams. That's your proposed slate of officers. Thank you. I'd like to go through the list of trustees who are current board members and will continue. Which one? Oh, Penny to the right. Michael Badner, Tony Bassett, Dr. Kim Campbell, George Garib, Crystal Glambin, Dr. Angelo Iacchini, David Langendorfer, Cherie Madison Emery, Dr. Patricia Medding, Mike Mikkonen, Carol Thomas, and Dr. Brandon Tucker. Thank you. Name like Dimitrika, who cares? Proposed slate of officers, or proposed slate of trustees. Seth Babcock. Shannon Lohr. Nope. There we go. Brenda Phillips. Jane Marie Ray. Markeisha Rush. Dr. Nicholas Santilli. Dan Silvers. Reginald Temple. And Dean Wyrick. Thank you. That is the proposed slate of officers and trustees. Given that, I'd like a motion to approve the slate as presented. I'd like a second, please. Second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Thank you very much. Once we get you, trust me, they don't let you go. Congratulations to all of you. Thank you.
At this time, I'd like to bring Andre up to pass him the gavel and give him the presidential pin.
Yeah, over there. I don't think I would put there.
All right. What's that? I think yours. Yep.
Sure.
Very, that's much better.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. Really appreciate it. All right.
Good.
All right. Now I get to- All right. Now I get to present Jeff with his past president pin. And see if I can get this right without stabbing you. Just put it right through his shoulder. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Jeff, we also wanted to present you with I guess a commemorative gavel for all of your time and services you've done for the board over this last year and the years previous to that. So I can't tell you how much that you've meant to me, as a mentor and someone to fill some big shoes coming up. So this is for you from the rest of the board and everyone.
Thank you.
Absolutely. I'm up right now. Right? Am I back up? Wow.
It's your meeting now.
Oh, wow. Is it set for the... Well, I can't tell you how much I appreciate just the honor to have this opportunity to serve as the president of the Alumni Association. I say this 50-some years ago when I was a kid in Cleveland. There's no way in heck that I'd think that I'd be standing up here in front of great people. It has meant the world to me to be part of the university. I remember 30-some years ago when I came on campus, traveling around Ohio and living in different places from Cleveland to Toledo to Columbus, where I'm currently at. Every time I come back to Toledo, which seems to be pretty often, which is a wonderful thing, nothing feels more like home than coming back to Toledo. I get those same goosebumps when I step on campus. When I walk in the building here, when you step over the rocket on the flag, I'm telling you, it is an amazing experience. I love every second of it. The board has been phenomenal. Great people I've made friends with. And again, it just keeps getting better and better. Jeff, I said it a second ago, he has brought the board to a place that I don't think it's been before. We've had some great past presidents, and he just keeps carrying that torch. So it's going to be some big shoes to fill. I hope that I can get there. You put the ball in motion. With that, I say this too. You've got goals, right? But without any plan, a goal is just another wish. You put some good goals. You've put some phenomenal plans in place. The whole board has, but it starts with Jeff. So I hope to continue to carry that torch. Again, I say this too, there's not a place that I go. Tomorrow I'm leaving for Washington, D.C., so it's Law Enforcement Week. That there's not a time that I go anywhere that I don't have a piece of the University of Toledo with me, whether it's a pair of cheesy socks or a lapel pin or a shirt, a coat, or a hat. And there's always someone that's saying TOL and I'm saying EDO, right? Or Go Rockets. Whether you're in Vegas, Washington, D.C., wherever you're at, there's not a time that I don't leave with that. So I ask this. Anytime you go anywhere, just take a little bit of some Rocket Nation with you and just always be the ambassador that I hope that we all can be. So I appreciate it. Again, it's been an honor and an absolute privilege to hopefully serve you in a wonderful capacity over this next year. So thank you very much. All right, if hearing nothing, I would make a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
All right.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.